Assalamu alaikum, guys. Just wanted to tell you all about a dream I had uh, almost 10 years ago, 9 years ago, about. And I got it interpreted by an Islamic dream interpreter, a famous Islamic dream interpreter scholar. His name is Abu Muhammad al-Arif. He has an Instagram channel called Dreams with Arif, and I had him interpret the dream. So I'll start from the beginning. Basically, I was walking in a garden, and there was a building, and I walked into a computer room. It was filled with Muslims, and I sat down next to a Muslim woman who was wearing a hijab. And then we got up and walked out of that room and opened another room, and I saw my mother with a baby in there. And then we walked out of that room. I don't remember too much about the beginning of this dream, but we were in the garden, and we kept walking in this garden. It was a beautiful garden. And then we came upon this part where there was no plants or anything. It was just dirt and earth, no greenery, no water, anything. It was dirt. And there was a bridge connecting to a dark cave from the garden. So there was a garden, and then there was nothing but dirt, lifeless area with a dirt bridge connecting to a dark cave. And I saw a man walk out of it who was burnt to a crisp, and he was very much in pain, but he was walking out of this dark cave towards the garden. And I saw him, and I said, Assalamu alaikum, and he returned the greeting to me. And then me and the woman walked into the dark cave, and we walked and we walked. I couldn't see anything until we got deep enough where the whole cave lit up red. And I saw a window at the end of the cave, and we walked up on the window. And what I saw in that window was very scary. I saw rows of people lined up, laying down, lined up, and there were creatures standing above them, staring at them like with lifeless eyes. And they were each carrying a huge boulder of sorts. It was like a rectangular rock that seemed extremely heavy, heavier than anything the earth has. And these creatures would stare at these people lying in this area, and the whole area was lit up on fire, from the ceiling to the ground. Everything was on fire besides the window. And these creatures would pick up the boulder, and they would drop it on top of these people that are lying on the ground. And every time they dropped the boulder, the whole cave shook. And the people all I could hear is screaming. As I approached the window, I heard this screaming, but these people were screaming so loud that their mouths were so open, it looked like their cheeks were about to rip out. And none of them had eyes, so there was like a dark spot where the eyes should be. And there was men and women lined up row by row, and they were just getting tortured. Like the creatures would drop this huge boulder on different parts of their body, on their stomach, on their feet, on their heads. And they would just keep picking it back up, and their bodies would get restored every single time, and they would drop it again, pick it up, body restored, and that just kept going on and on and on. And I looked at the woman, and I said, okay, let's go. And we walked back towards the garden, and I looked back, and I saw a woman with missing eyes screaming at the window, and that freaked me out. And I woke up while my eyes were still closed. I was afraid to move. So I woke up and I prayed tahajjud, and I got the dream interpreted by the scholar, the dream interpretation scholar, and he said that this type of dream is like a reminder. Allah is sending me a reminder. And it's sometimes Allah sends you a reminder in your dreams to remind you to do good deeds, avoid sins. He'll show you hellfire in the dream. He'll show you the garden, so that why you're here on earth. So what's interesting about this dream is I looked up what I saw in the dream online back then, and I saw a hadith, an authentic hadith, where the Prophet ﷺ had a dream where he was given a tour by two angels, and he saw various punishments going on that would happen in Akhirah. And one of the punishments, the first one I think was mentioned, was that there was a man laying on the ground and another man above him with a big rock, and he kept throwing it at the guy's head and smashing it. And every time the rock rolled away and he went to pick it up, the guy's head would be restored. And he would keep doing that over and over and over again. And when the Prophet asked the angels, what's going on here, they told him, let's go, which is the same thing I said to the woman after I saw the punishments. I said, let's go. So I thought that was crazy, because I saw that very punishment inside the dream that I had, and I didn't even know about that hadith. And when I looked up the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ was told by the angels that this type of punishment, where they're getting hit in the body and the head with a rock, is because they neglected their prayers and they didn't live by the Quran. There's some people, they read the Quran but they don't live by it. They don't understand some things. They don't implement it in their lives, and they go to bed without praying. So this is a very big reminder to follow the commands of Allah, so that we can have a good end and a good hereafter. Anyways, guys, if you thought that was interesting, I had a couple other dreams I'll release videos about. Subscribe, and let's grow this channel. Assalamu alaikum.